Welcome back to another episode of Low Key Genius. I'm your host, Kiana J. I'm here with a good friend of mine who I don't know that anyone other than maybe 5 people on this earth probably know, which makes me really lucky to be one of those 5. But I'm introducing you all today to my good friend, Rebecca Joseph, who is a very talented multidisciplinary creative. Welcome, Rebecca.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining me
Thank
and
you for
welcome to Low Key
having me. I
Genius.
know, thank you. I feel
The
special.
genius herself. How are you feeling? How's your 2026 starting?
Starting off with a rebirth. Um 2025 was definitely, like they say, the year of the snake. A lot of shedding, a lot of
Super.
crying.
A lot of so much
I
crying.
know. I think this is the most I've ever cried in my life.
Yes.
hmm
No, actually though.
I thought I was a bit like, when you think you're like a tough cookie, I'm
Yeah.
I'm not a tough cookie. I'm really not. But I think this is the year that I feel like I always gotta put in God into this.
Mm-hmm.
God just wants me to like step out and just be the person I'm supposed to be.
Mm.
Which, yeah,
That's valid. That's valid.
yeah,
I also, yeah, a lot of crying. So
yeah.
much crying. But you know what? May our tears water the seeds of
Amen.
like the
Amen.
work that we're putting in.
Amen.
So cheers to a fruitful 2026.
Cheers.
Um, I'm excited to hear about, what's next for you. And I'm excited to finally kind of give a lot of other people the chance to get to know you. What would you say is like a pillar word for you this year in terms of where you're thinking about like your creative projects? What are you holding on to?
Um, right now, like, there's only 3 words in my head that I feel like because it's all about the process.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's patience, long suffering, and faithfulness. Like, for me, it's
Mm.
like we live in New York, so everything is just fast paced, go with the trend. But I'm not like that. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
much of like unconventional. Like, for me, I see like we have a purpose in life,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a void that we see that other people don't see. And for
Okay.
me, that's where I get my creativity from, where I have like an idea and it's like, I don't know if they'll enjoy it, but I know I will. And I'm pretty sure someone else will enjoy this sort of like
Mm-hmm.
creativity. And my creativity comes from depth. I'm low key very emotional person. You probably
Mm-hmm.
will not notice that unless you're close to me. But everything that I do has some sort of meaning, and I want people to really connect with what I do. So
Yeah.
like that's why it takes longer for certain artists to like be put out in the spotlight,
Mm-hmm.
cuz their work probably has more depth than, other people. And for me, I'm in a place where, and we were on the phone last night, and I was
Yeah.
saying how like I feel like the last couple of years I've been on autopilot,
Mm-hmm.
and life has been so mundane to me. Whereas like I try to like pivot my creativity, but then it's like the momentum is there, and then it's just kind of like flop. So now I
Yeah,
just
like
feel
you hit a
like,
wall.
yeah. So for now, I just feel like I can't do that anymore. Like
Mm.
I can't. We talked about the
Like
Squidward episode where like Squidward was in that gated community and he liked it the first few days and he was like he was over it.
he was so
And
over it.
yeah, I think that's where my attitude is. Like I'm over it. Like,
Mhm. Like, get out of your comfort
yeah, I
zone.
I need to get out of my way and do what I have to do. And yeah.
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 Well, I spoke to a fellow other Aries, and it feels like
Really?
all the Aries are like, "Get up."
No,
Like,
we're over it.
"Okay."
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like
I think the fire is now like brewing.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the spark is there, but now it's like I need room to like burn.
Yes.
That's what it is.
And, like, unashamedly burn. It takes a lot to, like, hone that fire
Yeah.
and kind of, like, I don't know, be able to transmute it correctly, which is
Yeah.
why sometimes you kind of get into a space of like misaligned anger or kind of overstimulated with everything because like there's so
Yeah.
much you want to start and there's so
Yeah.
much
It
you want
was
to get
so
into,
yeah.
but it's like okay, well, what deserves all of this energy right
Yeah.
now? Or like maybe it's not what deserves all of this energy right now, but maybe it's like, how do I kind of run with my spark when I have it for whatever
Yeah.
I have it for and
Yeah.
just kind of
Yeah.
respect that as my
Yeah.
process. Because I think, yeah, I learned a lot of that too within myself in the last year. And
Mm.
same, like you have this immediate like, "Oh my god, yes, you're excited. It's
Yeah.
going, it's flowing," and then you're hitting a roadblock and it's like, "What the fuck?" Like
Seriously. What was the biggest, like, standout for you last year that made you
Mm,
wanna push into, like, I need to start putting more, like, my priority into low key?
mm, I think okay, I damn near, like, put myself in jail, like, I locked myself off,
Yeah.
and I had a really big time of undergoing, like, isolation.
Mm.
And so that through that, like, alone time, I think there was a lot of, like, uncomfortability in me meeting myself and,
Yeah.
like, re-identifying myself or just kind of posing, like, real questions and being like, "Okay, well, why do you feel like this? Like, yeah, you feel like this, but
Mm.
why?"
Yeah.
And really answering that and digging deep. And I think, like, through that, I was able to have a lot more of, like, a better understanding of, like, where I currently am.
Yeah.
And kind of reconcile a little bit too with like, I don't know, like what do I no longer want to hold on to and what do I
Right.
no longer want to identify with? So I think through that alone time, through that isolation, I was really like kind of forced to be like, what prepare for what's next or what's
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, isolation will do that to you.
Isolation will do that to
Yeah.
you, but you can't get stuck in that
Yeah.
isolation.
I
And
think
it's really
yeah.
easy to.
I think that's what I was going through last year. I did a lot of, like, isolation where I know that, like, because they say, like, Aries need to be around people in order to, like, grow, but for me, I'm an introvert, so for
Mm,
me, I will push people away, whereas, like, I suppress my feelings,
yeah.
and I'm doing the inner work that I do as an individual, but there is some work you do need to be with other people.
Collectively.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think that's where I kind of, like,
Yeah.
struggled the most, which is why, like, this year I'm like, "Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if I need help, I have to ask for help." See, like, some of my friends who have, strength in certain areas that I don't have, then they
Mm-hmm.
could help me. And then from there, it's like, okay, everything else will follow.
Let's talk about
Yes.
the Petal Gaze.
Okay, yeah.
Let's give the people a little bit of
Yeah,
context.
she's a little
If
business.
you weren't there, I'm so sorry that you missed it.
There will be more.
The Petal Gaze
Yeah.
was so, I don't know, like it was beautiful. It was like the first time that I experienced anything like that personally.
Yeah.
And even like when you approached me to be a part of it,
Yeah.
like all the way, what was that, like
Yeah, I was
March,
like,
April?
yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god," like, hearing about it, hearing you talk about it via email. Mind you, like, we had not even met in
Yeah,
person at
we
that
have
point.
not.
And so Rebecca writes me in March and is like, "Hey, I want you to be a part of this personal project that I have going on. I think you'll get it, period." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, what is it? Let's get into it." And sends me the most, like, beautiful, just, like, personal questions
Yeah.
that in a weird way, I think because of what I was experiencing and what I was going through with myself, I was, like, able to actually answer. And so
Mm.
it was kind of, like, fun for me to still answer those
Yeah.
questions that you gave me.
Yeah.
But little did I know, those questions that I answered about myself, how I view love, how I, kind of give love, receive love, etcetera, would then be transformed into the most gorgeous, like, floral show with, like, baby, there was a harp.
Yeah.
Like, it was gorgeous. It was beautiful. So, let's talk about the Petal Gaze and,
Okay.
how did you even come up with that? Where did you get the sense that, like, this was needed?
I had, like, this interesting, I don't know, like, attraction to flowers and,
Mhm.
like, how they were arranged. I think this is when I used to live in Australia at some point, and I was like, "I'm gonna take a flower class, gonna
She's
take a
had
flower."
many lives.
I did. So then I think 2021, I went to floral school. That was the most challenging thing in my life. I was questioning whether, it was meant for me or not.
Mm.
And at the end, it was a bit of a struggle because, like, I'm new to this world, and I don't really see myself doing commercial flowers like weddings or like
Mhm.
certain events where you just make a floral arrangement and then it's like, here you go. Um, I'm very much of an artist where like I see art and emotion, they go together. And I want people to like experience like what I make. It's not like, oh, I make this thing, look at me, I'm talented. It's more of like, this is what I'm good at, and I want you to be a part of this journey. And I
Mm.
feel like, and you don't have to be an artist or creative to be a part of it. It's more of like you're adding something, whether like your story or your answers, to
Yeah.
be a part of like what I'm making. That way, like, you know, when people be like, "Oh, I'm not a creative. I'm not a creative." It's like, it's
Mhm.
okay. You know, it's all right. It's not your lane, but you could still be on this journey, you know? And
Yes.
I love storytelling and I love to get to know other people and their story because it's kind of like
Mhm.
my story is different from yours and someone else is different. But when, you know, people come together and they read them, like there was one guy, he was reading the stories and he just started crying because he was like, I can relate to that because
Mm.
like that was my sister or that was me. And I was like,
Yeah.
and this is kind of what I want people to like bring back vulnerability. Even though I struggle with that, I need other people around me to be like, okay, I
Yes.
struggle with vulnerability. Like, let's do this. And
Mhm.
it's a human, it's like we're human. I think this is the thing. Like, I kind of want to bring events where it's like just to remind people that we're just human. We have feelings. Our stories could be different. Our stories could be similar.
Mhm.
And this is where we come together as a community. And, you know, like nowadays people put events for like just show up and be cool. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
I want you to like open your heart, like be real. So, yeah, I'm all about real truth and stuff like that. And I want to combine flowers and stories and things that are in my head and then
Mhm.
bring it to life. Yeah. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you probably know somebody who will like it. And,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Well, like, the thing about it is, like, you don't have to like it. I
Exactly.
think that's another thing too,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
if it's in front of you and you resonate, great. If you do not resonate, then you
Yeah.
don't. Like, I think sometimes there is the expectation that I think people go into when it comes to, like, maybe especially visual art of any kind, like,
Yeah.
whether it's a show, a performance, a, like, painting, whatever,
Yeah.
that they will like it, and it's
Yeah.
like, you don't have to like it.
Yeah.
But granted, like, keep it cute,
Mm-hmm.
keep the critique cute,
Yeah.
or and by keep it cute, I don't mean, like, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say
Yeah.
it. I mean, what does the critique serve? Like, what is the purpose of your
Yeah.
critique? Because I think when we get to a space where we're kind of like just tearing somebody down just to tear them down
Yeah.
and dogpile and, all of that stuff,
Yeah.
it becomes such a pointless conversation,
It
quite
is like
frankly.
it's not really needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, I think specifically something I don't enjoy sometimes is when people who do have like the awareness, the skill set,
Yeah.
and like maybe have been sort of in their industry for a longer time and can genuinely provide critical feedback,
Yeah.
take that and just kind of like dump a good amount of criticism and be like, oh, this wasn't that and it should have been that
Yeah.
and it didn't follow this and this is why it didn't resonate. And then, just kind of throw it into the air or
Yeah.
like throw it up on like Instagram and
Yeah.
that's their opinion instead of like actually trying to help or, maybe engaging with whoever created the work to
Yeah.
say like, well, you know, I want to understand more and so I can form more of like an informed
Yeah.
critique,
Yeah.
you know? Because I feel like those things just inherently kind of form a wider bridge between us
Yeah.
when the point of creating the work is to bring people together to access like a more vulnerable space
Yeah.
with each other.
Yeah.
And so like the critiques sometimes they just get a little too
Yeah.
out of
Yeah.
hand, a little too haterish, quite
Yeah.
frankly. So I hope that, we were kind of like moving into a space where, objectively, if you don't like it, cool. And if you do like it and you
Yeah.
love it, great. But
Yeah.
like also guys, bad press is still
Good.
press. I need
Yes.
y'all to understand
Yes.
that. Like
Yes.
stop giving people airtime.
Mm. Yeah. And
But
all
anyway,
yeah.
I love that, your pop-up was it was super focused on vulnerability. It
Yeah.
was like, even if you didn't have the person up there,
Yeah.
like reading each piece and seeing it was still like you got a picture perfect view of
Yeah.
what they went through or
Yeah.
like what they experienced. And I love that too because it allowed people to be vulnerable
Yeah.
without feeling too exposed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've asked certain people questions and they were like, oh, this is like, hitting a memory they don't want to like experience. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
Mm.
And what they give was literally just enough for, what I was making or what the audience was reading. And also like my pop-up is also to expose people to like different type of flowers because,
Mm-hmm.
everything is roses, dozen
Is it
roses. There's
though?
more
No.
than that. There's more to life than just roses. And just seeing how like creating a space where, you don't have to be like an influencer or someone with like many
Mm.
followers to attend an event like this. This is for anybody. This is for everyone,
Yeah.
You don't need to feel like you are special to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone is special, but
Yes.
not like how we see it
Not like
today.
superficial.
Instagram special.
Instagram special.
That's basically what
This
you
is an
are.
Instagram special. No, I feel you though. Like, how do we make it accessible to
Yes.
everyone?
Yeah.
Because everyone experiences
Yeah.
these things,
Yeah.
Like, everyone experiences heartbreak. You don't have to have like X amount of followers to have gone through heartbreak,
Yeah.
gone through ego death.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
So, yeah, how do we make these events and spaces like more aligned with what they're actually for?
Yeah.
Not just so that we can show up, look cute,
Mm-hmm.
say hello to the other 5 people who look cute,
Right.
stand there, and
Yeah.
then, go
That's
about your day.
Yeah.
Boring. Don't like it.
Exactly. And you met some new people there too, right?
I did. I
Yeah.
met some new people. I saw some people I had already known
Yeah,
that I had no
exactly.
idea were mutuals with you.
Yeah.
And then, brought along my friends.
Yeah.
I brought along my younger brother, who I think that was
Yeah.
like the most important part of it for me,
Aw.
was like kind of getting him to see like, these things that
Yeah.
you're thinking are cool are very accessible for you to do. You just have to
Mm.
like want to do it.
Yeah. What I like the pop-up for me or what I'm doing in general is kind of an example of like you can do whatever your mind is
Mhm.
wanting you to do. Like the show itself is like a result of like you pushing through. It's
Mhm.
not just like, oh, this is the show, but also like I was one person. This was my idea. I really
Mhm.
barely had any help, like everything was out of my pocket. You can do it, and that's where I kind of also want to like encourage people to like go after what you want to do, like
Yeah.
I'm reading The Artisan Way, so that really had helped me in the beginning when I read it in January. I'm still
Mhm.
reading it, and it was saying like don't use your excuses to like hold you back.
Yeah.
Like money shouldn't be, a reason, or use what you have in your hands,
Use what you have.
and that's what I was saying, also like asking for help. So I'm imagining now like along the lines meeting new people and asking for help, or people who just want to help me without me
Mhm.
asking. The results later in the future, like how much more, how
Mhm.
bigger, like just imagining when you like, be vulnerable. Like this whole process was me being vulnerable. Like I'm not someone
Even with
that
yourself.
exactly. Like I'm not used to like showing my art to people like that. So it was just more of like, okay, I did it. So now I can do it again and not have other challenges that I just need to focus on rather than like, okay, I can't do this. No, I
Mhm.
can. Yeah.
I have a slight hot take about The Artist Way
Yes.
because I'm also
Reading it.
also
Yeah.
reading The Artist Way. My hot take about The Artist Way is that I personally don't feel like you need to do it in a full like straight 12 weeks.
No,
I
I'm
don't.
still reading it. I'm still
I've been
reading it.
reading this book since January 2023. Like,
Okay, I just
like,
started last year, January.
no, well, June 2023. Either
Yeah,
way,
you don't
but
really
like,
need to. You just like take it in.
I think
Put
you
it
need to take
aside.
your
Yeah,
time with it because
exactly.
granted, if you do it in like the absolute like vigorous 12 weeks, like
No,
you're
it's too much.
salute you.
Yeah. I
But like I know people who have started it and then maybe like, kind of left it to the wayside
yeah.
for a little and then will restart it. And
Yeah.
I think for me, as I have been reading it along, this time,
Yeah.
I kind of just have interpreted as like I will approach each week's like sort of challenge and lessons just the same way as I approach life.
Yeah.
Like personally, maybe the 2023 version of me was not fully ready to receive what was in week 9 for me, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like
It's a workbook.
it's a workbook,
Yeah.
but it also coincides so like intensely with your life and with your
Yeah.
emotions
Exactly.
and with how you view yourself. And like Rome was not built in a day.
No.
So, you thinking you're going to change your mindset and your habits
Yeah.
in a day. And that's why y'all be failing at resolutions, quite
Whew.
frankly. Stop expecting them resolutions that you made
Mm-mm.
January 1st
Tell them.
to be your lifestyle January 8th. And if you are
Mm.
that person who's going to make it happen from January 1st to the 8th, salute you, champ, queen, diva, love you. But for majority of us, like that's not a reality. It's
Yeah.
like you have to take your time, you have to give yourself grace to
Yeah.
apply so many of these like mental shifts,
Yeah.
like physical, emotional changes. You
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
And sometimes that version of you is not ready for what is in week
Mm-hmm.
9.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you do need to be on week 3 for a little while.
Yeah. You gotta make sure you get it.
You gotta learn a lesson.
Yeah.
And that's like I'm not gonna lie, that's one of my biggest mottos in life is like learn the lessons. Like
Yeah.
when I'm real over myself, I be like, can I learn the lesson?
Yeah. Like, come on. If you want to get to the next level, like, do the homework.
This is the
Yeah.
same shit in a different font. Learn a
Mhm.
lesson.
Mhm. Yeah.
Literally. But like I just feel like, yeah, you can't expect to do this thing in like this 12-week process straight
Yeah.
through and like, the changes are just going to stick.
Yeah.
But nor can you kind of expect that like life won't get in the way. Life
Yeah.
is always going to life.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's what I need the chronic healers to understand as well.
Ooh.
Life is always going to life. And just as we were talking about earlier, when I was kind of mentioning my like isolation period,
Yeah.
yes, I was isolated, but only at a certain point because I wasn't isolating myself from my community entirely.
Yeah.
Because I do fully understand that there is some form of like healing that you have to do with surrounded by community, but
Yeah.
also like you could call yourself healed down. But
Yeah.
if you don't pass the actual test
Yeah.
that
You
life is going to
need
throw
to.
at you,
Yes.
if you
Yeah.
crumble,
Mhm.
what was that foundation?
Yeah. No, that is true. I
A chip.
definitely learned that last year. Put into life experience to be
You
like,
have to.
yeah.
You have to.
Because even Jesus was tested. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
They talked about him.
Yeah.
They talked bad about him too.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hello. But like, yeah, it's all like lessons in mastership,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, my hot take about the artist way is like take your time. Honestly, if you're reading it, take your time.
I agree.
Like, don't be so hard on yourself. Take your time. Actually learn the lessons. And like, if you don't get to go and do this task this week, that doesn't mean rush in and bombard
Yeah.
into the next week. Like, literally give yourself grace,
Yeah.
because you don't know what's being taught to you too through
Yeah.
that, like through repetition of like failing. That's why it's
Yeah.
just like people constantly saying like start it and fail
Yeah.
rather than never start it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
Facts. Aside from just like, the pop-up and the intention of the pop-up, I want to know where through that process you kind of hit an internal roadblock or
Mm.
what was, I think, just a moment where you kind of had to confront yourself.
Life be lifing. And I think the out of world of like stuff outside of pop up, like my friendships, my other job, or like family, I'm always self reflecting on like who I am as a person. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if a friendship is like on the rocks, I have to like look at myself and like, okay, where did I contribute to our friendship being rocky? And
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I'm very much hard on myself, which I'm learning how to give grace, but also like, I am someone that does take responsibility in the things that I do. So it's like, um, also like family issues. We all go through family issues and just figuring out like, okay, what could I do as a child to, keep moving or, forgiveness and, because everything is a choice and the choices you make do affect you long term. So I'm always thinking like long term wise is like, do I want this person in my life or do I still want to be at this other job or is there
Mhm.
other things that I want to do? So I'm always reflecting and always seeing like, okay, what can I do better for the next time?
Mhm.
Yeah, just a lot of life happening and, just figuring out certain areas in my life where I was like, I didn't prioritize. And I was like, okay, I need to do that in order for me to like, it's like a loop.
Yeah.
We talked about this where it's like, there's a lot of things where I feel like I need to like check off in order to move forward, where it's like a conversation or
Mhm.
girl, book that appointment, get the driver's license, I don't have my driver's license.
It's
But
okay.
I need it. I need it.
And you'll get there.
I will get there. I will get there. I got my permit. So we're gonna get check back at me in a year or 6 months.
It's okay. We're gonna hold each other
Yeah,
accountable.
yeah.
I too need to be on the
Yeah.
road.
No, yeah. I have like other crazy ideas where it's kind of like in order for me to get to those crazy ideas, there are small tasks that I do need to like
Mm.
check off. Cause like you said, like you can't read that book in 12 weeks. That's not, I mean, you can, but what are you
You
actually?
can if you want to.
Yeah, you can. You're reading it like a
Will you
book.
learn something?
Exactly. So
I
for
don't
me,
know.
I'm thinking about like, okay, that's why I said patience and like
Mhm.
faithfulness. I do need to like, what do I have in my hands right now that I need to like steward or just get better at rather than
Mhm.
like, okay, let me learn something else new. No, it's like you are good at other stuff too. Like work on those because those probably will help you when you in the near future that you probably need to like
Mhm.
you need
So
those
like
strength.
completion.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's me. I'm learning patience because Rome was not built in a day. I did not grow from 2 feet to
Mhm.
5'7" in a day.
Right.
So everything takes time and just perfecting your craft. I think that's what, and also like bettering my friendships. I think that is something that will help too. Cause like life experience adds to your art, adds to your
Yeah.
work, adds to your growth. And I think being around taking risk and putting yourself in situations that will help you grow,
Mhm.
that will help you in the long run. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at right now.
I
Or
feel that.
I forgot the question.
Shout out to Jill.
Yeah,
Shout out to Jill
yeah.
Scott.
Oh yeah.
Because I heard something she said the other day where she was just like, in order to, in order to do art, you have to live. Like you have
Yeah.
to sit, talk to your family, spend
Mhm.
time with your family, spend time around people, do
Yeah.
things, do new things, etc. So like, yeah, you do. It requires
Yeah.
such an amount of lived experience. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna paint. And
Yeah.
yeah, you might paint and it might look cool, but like, will you feel it?
Yeah.
Will other people feel it? Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know, 50-50.
Also like sitting and embracing your emotions cuz there are moments where I feel angry for no reason or just like I'm like feeling something and I'm like I don't know why I'm feeling like this and I have
Mhm.
to like trace back on like okay, did something happen or this person's acting weird around
Yeah.
me or like sometimes I overanalyze what people say to me sometimes and that's why I stay to myself. Just so I don't like jump into conclusions because I
Yeah.
think I tend to jump into conclusions sometimes. Sometimes. I'm always right. But yeah, it's just more of like okay, just like I said, I always try to take responsibility of like
Yeah.
my side of the story. I was like, okay, did I say that? Maybe they must have,
Mhm.
like maybe I said it on how I said it, like what I said and how I said it, and like they probably think of me as like I don't know. Their interpretation of me is probably what I saw in myself
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean,
yeah.
it requires like a level of self-reflection, but
Yeah.
I think another thing about doing life is like it's so hard to like loosen your grip on control, like,
Yeah, that
and that is where
too.
sometimes overthinking comes into play. Like we
Yeah.
overthink and overanalyze because we want to, you know, predict the outcome
Yeah.
and et cetera, et cetera. But like we just gotta loosen our grip. Like
Mm,
it's not up to us.
yeah.
It's not up
No,
to
yeah.
us,
And
you
that's
know?
one thing I'm learning too. Like, I think that's one of the challenges I told myself this year is I'm letting go of control because disappointment, that hurts. Like, disappointment is real, and um detachment will help you in the long run. Like,
It definitely will.
yeah. Also, like, being optimistic of, okay, if it didn't go that way, I know there's a better way, there's a better,
Yeah.
brighter side to it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's all rejection therapy.
Yes. Mhm.
What would you say right now is like something that, I don't know, you're wanting to be different about the next few projects that you do work on?
It is called the Petal Gaze, but there's like a series that I'm doing. The heart is fragile as a petal.
Hmm.
So there's right now, I think what I'm doing differently is my process,
Hmm.
and everything is just so complex when it comes to the heart and emotion and how we approach love, friendships, and stuff like that. There's so
Hmm.
much to talk about and so many
A friendship
stories.
series would,
Yes, that
yeah,
is definitely
that
what
would
I'm working
be
on later. I want to hear
okay.
stories. I want to hear stories. Right now, what I'm working on is I'll probably give a little sneak peek is love attachments based off
Mm,
some things that I've experienced in the last couple of years. I
okay.
know like people like to focus on like successful love stories, but I want to focus on like the ones that were like I think, and this is where like
Absolutely
this is where guilt and
heartbreaking.
yes, this is where guilt and shame comes in, where some people are probably not happy to admit that they have an avoidant attachment, or like they go through
Mm,
certain limerence or things, because I've been through that, and I thought I was scared to admit like, okay, there's something wrong with me, I don't want to say, but it's like, no, like we're all
you were
going
thinking
through it.
like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I'm falling in love every
Yeah, I'm
business
obsessed with this
days.
person. No, but it's more of like it's okay. You don't get love correct the first time. Not the second time. Maybe not the third, but like it's okay if you heal and you do your part. Now you're not ashamed or guilty of
Mm,
like what you've been through. Maybe you needed to learn that in order to get to a secure part
yeah.
of, finding love or whatever. Yeah, I want to like welcome people to actually read stories on that, where it's like it's okay, like we all didn't grow up in a healthy loving home, and
Hmm.
that will hinder us. But if you do the work and you acknowledge like where you have to like
Hmm.
in order to be get from point A to point B, like you know but stories, like we're all different. Stories
Yeah.
are amazing things to tell. Like I'm a big fan of storytelling, so yeah.
Are you pro circle back? Like, are you
um
pro spin the block?
okay, there's two sides to this.
Okay.
Depending on how it ended, um you can give it a second chance.
Mm,
If it didn't end well, no. And the person didn't do growth, no. I'm very much of a, well, if it didn't like fully blossom,
yeah.
then give it a shot, you know. Just a little not too much, but as someone who like, I'm like I said, I'm a bit of an avoidant, and I don't like to like, it's something
Mm,
I'm growing to be better at, like just getting to the root of the problem and
mhm,
like growing from that and just being better and transparent and honest. I'm all about
mhm.
truth, so yeah. So
So you're like you're more of like it's circumstantial.
yes, other than that, it's like there will be signs from God to be like, this is the person you're supposed to be with. Otherwise, like God is not gonna give you peace with that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think honestly, like you won't know peace where you are not supposed to be.
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
you're gonna be shaking
Yeah,
the table
yeah. What about
every
you? I
time.
want to know, like, spin the block or
Absolutely not.
okay.
I'm not.
Yeah, they're
Oh
strict on
no,
that.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm very strict.
yeah,
See, like the way that we were talking about stories,
yeah.
I don't need to read the same book over.
Okay. If
I
the
read it.
book was really okay, I read a book twice before. I read a book twice. I read the Bible twice. Like for me it's very strict. I'm kind of like you, it's very strict, but like I said, it depends on the yeah.
Is a no for me,
I
dog.
said no.
Nah, but like, granted, it's
Yeah.
circumstantial. I think the only event of where like maybe I'm a little more like spin the block,
Yeah.
pro spin the block, is like if it didn't have its full like sort of time to blossom.
Yeah,
Full,
that no, I that's
if
basically
the
yeah, yeah.
connection was giving like it's just two
Yeah, yeah,
ships
you see what I'm
passing in the
saying? Yeah,
night.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But like if you had time, you sat down, you had lunch, you had dinner, you had breakfast,
Okay,
like
yeah, yeah, that
there
okay.
was
That's a
time
no.
spent.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
what do we need to
Yeah.
know?
I mean, I've never spin the block, so I actually don't know
What do we need
how
to
that
know?
feels. Yeah.
We know everything we know.
Exactly.
That's it.
You're right.
But I definitely would be interested in like a friendship series of like The Heart is Fragile because I
Yes.
think we don't often think about how really heart-wrenching like a friendship breakup is.
No,
Like, oh
yeah,
my
yeah. I've
gosh.
been through
Yeah.
those.
Mm,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's definitely
heart-wrenching.
yeah.
Like
I want to collect some stories on friendships
you
cuz
need to.
especially like you know when you're like people are friends and then all of a sudden like they delete their photos and you're like what
All of a sudden it's don't ask
happened?
me about nobody you don't see me with.
Right. I've been through those things where people be like, "Oh, how's so and so?" And I'm like, "We don't talk no more." And I will give my my side of the
Your
story,
version.
but then it's also like I want to hear what they told you first, and now I'm gonna answer. So I know how that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. It depends for me, but I think I tend to take the like the Kiki Palmer route of like I wouldn't know that man if he was
Y-
across the street.
It's same.
Like
But I'm not afraid to be like, hey, we're not good, because I don't want, because sometimes I feel like some people make me feel like
you're the villain.
I'm the villain. And it's
Sometimes
like
you're the villain, and
that
sometimes
is true. But then I've learned to like let people be wrong about me.
you have to.
Yeah.
You have
That.
to. It is so important to like I don't know. It's so important to just allow people to like think what they are thinking.
Yeah.
Like, allow people to be wrong about you sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes people do be like coming straight through the gate, wrong and strong, and it is what it is. I think a big piece of sort of what I figured out about myself last year too is like just not going so heavily into defending myself every time I
Yeah.
turn around. Like,
Yeah.
in all facets, in your character, in your creative work, in just everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes people they need to be wrong about you.
Mm.
Sometimes they feel what they feel and you can't control that. And it is
Yeah.
what it is.
I
The
agree.
control,
Mm-hmm.
release it.
Release
Release
one,
it.
two.
We need to. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I'm crying. Why is that so relevant?
Yeah. That's a theme for 2026.
Release them. No, I
Yeah.
feel like we released them already.
Yeah,
No,
we did.
please.
We
I
did.
can't.
We
I
did.
literally cannot do
We
any
did.
more releasing.
Yeah.
we I have nothing. Whitney Houston. But either way, thank you for joining me here
Thank you
today
so
on this
much.
episode. I'm super excited for like what the next series of the Petal Gaze is gonna like
Yeah,
take
stay
shape
posted.
as.
Yeah.
Where can the people find you?
There's my handle, Rebecca J. Joseph, spelled the correct way. And then the Petal Gaze. The Petal Gaze. Gaze. Yes.
Well, I hope you all took something from today's episode. Release attachments, dig deeper, please. Oh my God, we need it. Like collectively, we need y'all to dig deeper with yourselves for in the sense of love, in the sense of friendship, in the sense of creative work. Dig deeper because there is a genius inside of you. Once again, I'm your host, Kiana J. It's been great. See you next time.